Imagine walking through your neighborhood and spotting a lone dog standing guard at the entrance of an empty, abandoned house. Day after day, rain or shine, this dog refuses to leave. Curious neighbors and rescuers try to approach him, but he always returns to the same spot, as if he's waiting for someone. But who? And why? Today we'll uncover the heartbreaking story of a dog's devotion to a long-lost friend and the mystery hidden inside the abandoned house that left everyone speechless. Before we dive into this story of loyalty and heartbreak, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more incredible, true stories that reveal the love, loyalty, and mystery in the world of animals. In a quiet town in the countryside, a strange scene played out day after day. It started with a few residents noticing a dog near an old house on the edge of town. The house had been empty for years, its windows dusty, the paint chipped, and the yard overgrown with weeds. The dog seemed to be on constant watch, his eyes fixed on the house's entrance. He'd sit there for hours, keeping a close eye on the property, sometimes pacing back and forth. It wasn't long before people in the neighborhood began to wonder about this mysterious dog. Who did he belong to? And why was he always at this deserted house? Local residents started calling him Buddy, as no one knew his real name, and despite his worn appearance, he looked well-fed and seemed determined to stay. Some neighbors tried to approach him, bringing him food and water, but Buddy kept his distance. He accepted food only if it was left nearby and would return to his watch as soon as people moved away. One day, a group of neighbors tried to encourage Buddy to leave with them. They tried everything from treats to coaxing words, but Buddy just wouldn't budge. He'd wait until they left, then make his way back to his spot by the door. No one could explain it. He seemed deeply connected to this house, even though there was nothing inside as far as they knew. As days turned into weeks, people became more curious. They couldn't shake the feeling that this dog was waiting for something or someone. Even the local animal rescue group heard about Buddy and decided to look into it. They approached Buddy, hoping to gain his trust, but he always returned to his watch by the house. It was clear Buddy wasn't going to leave without a reason. Finally, one chilly morning, the rescue team decided to take a closer look at the house. Maybe there was something inside that explained Buddy's strange behavior. They carefully approached the property, and while Buddy watched them closely, he didn't make a move to stop them. He simply sat, his eyes fixed on the front door as they made their way inside. The team expected to find an empty, dusty house with nothing of note, but what they discovered shocked them. The house was abandoned, yes, but in one of the rooms they found a small corner arranged as if it were a memorial. There was an old, worn-out blanket spread on the floor, along with a few faded toys, a pair of children's shoes, and a dog collar engraved with the name Buddy. The discovery sent a chill down everyone's spine. It was as if the room had been left untouched, frozen in time. The toys and blankets seemed to belong to a young child, and the collar looked identical to the one Buddy was wearing. How could this be? One of the older neighbors recalled that the house used to belong to an elderly couple who lived there with their grandson, a boy named Tommy. Tommy's parents had passed away when he was very young, so he was raised by his grandparents. He had only one constant friend by his side, his loyal dog, Buddy. They were inseparable, playing in the yard every day, going for walks around the neighborhood, and spending countless hours together. But as fate would have it, tragedy struck one winter when Tommy fell seriously ill. His grandparents did everything they could to help him, but they were elderly and struggled to care for him alone. The neighborhood was heartbroken when news spread that young Tommy had passed away. Buddy, who had been by his side throughout his illness, was devastated. After Tommy's passing, Buddy stayed by his side, lying on the bed next to him, refusing to leave. And when Tommy was buried, Buddy somehow found his way back to the house, despite neighbors trying to take him in. He simply wouldn't leave. He had lost his best friend, but he couldn't let go of the memories they had made together. Years passed, and the grandparents eventually moved away, unable to bear the pain of staying in the house without their grandson. The home was locked up and left empty, but Buddy remained. Each day he returned to that house, to the spot where he last saw his best friend. The neighbors were moved to tears by the story, and it explained why Buddy was so fiercely devoted to the empty house. He wasn't just guarding the property, he was keeping watch over the only place he had ever known love, friendship, and family. He was waiting for Tommy, his beloved friend, who would never return. The local rescue team decided to honor Buddy's devotion. They set up a shelter outside the house with food, water, and blankets, allowing Buddy to stay close to the place he cherished. People from the neighborhood came together to care for him, each touched by the story of his loyalty. News of Buddy's story spread throughout the town, and soon visitors started coming by. bringing him treats and leaving small tokens by the house in memory of Tommy. Some even offered to adopt Buddy, but he refused to leave the house. He was waiting for someone he loved, and his heart wouldn't let him move on. Buddy's story became a local legend, and his unwavering loyalty reminded everyone of the incredible bond between animals and humans. For Buddy, loyalty wasn't just a word. It was his way of life, his tribute to a friend he would never forget. In time, the house became a symbol of love and remembrance in the town. People came from all around to see Buddy and hear the tale of the dog who refused to leave his friend's side, even after so many years. And to this day, Buddy's story continues to inspire, reminding us all of the unbreakable bond between humans and animals, and the power of loyalty that transcends time and even death. If this story of loyalty touched your heart, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Stories like Buddy's remind us of the love and devotion animals bring into our lives. So, stick around, you won't want to miss more heartwarming stories like this one.